Also. Hello students, in today's class I'm going to discuss the cache memories. So cache memory is a memory mechanism. It's one of the important memory component. Actually, first let us see what is the importance of cache memory, or why this cache memory is introduced. So as you know that the speed of main memory is very low in comparison with the speed of modern processors. So for a good performance, the processor cannot spend much of its time waiting to access the instructions and data in the main memory. Hence, it is important to arrive at a scheme that reduces the time needed to access the necessary information. And also, the speed of main memory unit is very limited by the electronic and packaging constraints. So, we must find a solution in a different architectural arrangement which can overcome this problem. The effective solution is to use is a cache memory. Here cache memory is a small and very fast memory which is interposed between the processor and the main memory, which essentially makes the main memory appear to the processor to be faster than it is. The effectiveness of the cache mechanism is based on the property of a computer program which is called as the locality of reference. Here the analysis of program shows that most of their execution time is spent on the routines in which many instructions are executed repeatedly, and these instructions may constitute a simple loop, a nested loops, or a few procedures that are repeatedly call each other. Here, the actual detailed pattern of the instruction sequencing is not important, but you can note that many of the instructions in the localized areas of the program that are executed repeatedly during some time period, and the remainder of the program is accessed relatively infrequently. So, this is referred as the locality of reference. And it is also known that there are two ways where the locality of reference can occur. One is temporal and one more is the spatial. So these two ways are to define the behavior of the locality of reference. One is temporal and other one is the spatial. The first one, that is the first means that recently executed instructions is likely to be executed again and again very soon, and the second one, that is the spatial aspect, means that the instructions in a close proximity to the recently executed instructions. Of course, that is with respect to the instructions addresses and that are also likely to be executed soon. So with this you can understand the behavior of locality of reference, that is temporal and the spatial aspects. If the active segments of a program that can be placed in the past cache memory, then the total execution time can be reduced significantly. So that conceptually the operation of a cache memory is very simple. Here the memory control circuitry is designed to take the advantage of the property of locality of reference. The temporal aspect of the locality of reference suggests that whenever an import, that is an information item, it may be the instruction or data, so that is first needed, and this item should be brought into the cache where it is hopefully remain until it is needed again, right? And the spatial aspect suggests that the instead of fetching just one item from the memory to the cache, so it is useful to fetch the several items that reside at the adjacent addresses as well. We'll use the term called as a block. So it is to refer a set of contiguous address locations of some size. So that is known as a block here. And another term that is often used to refer is the cache block, which is nothing but a cache line here. So the cache block or cache line, it refers to the set of contiguous address locations of some size. So that is known as cache block or cache line. Now consider a simple arrangement as shown in this figure. So when a read request is received from the processor, then the contents of a block of memory words containing the location that are specified, that are transferred into the cache one word at a time. So this arrangement, you can see how exactly the cache is placed, which is placed in between the processor and the main memory. So subsequently, when the program references any of the locations in this block, the desired contents that are read directly from the cache memory, and usually the cache memory can store a reasonable number of blocks at any given time, but this number is very small as compared to the total number of blocks in the main memory. And the correspondence between the main memory blocks and those in the cache is specified by a mapping function, of course mapping function that I will discuss in the next class, right? So when the cache is full and the memory word that is not in the cache which is referenced, then the cache control hardware must decide which block should be removed to create a space for the new block that contains the referenced word. The collection of rules for making this decision, which will constitute the replacement algorithm, means that mechanism is known as the replacement algorithm. Basically, replacement algorithm deals with the replacement of the blocks, that is memory blocks. Here, the processor does not need to know explicitly about the existence of the cache. So it is one of the issue that you can consider, that is the read and write request using the addresses that refer to the locations in the memory, so that the cache control circuitry determines whether the requested word currently exists in the cache or not. If it does, means if it exists, then the read or write operation is performed on the appropriate cache location. So in this case, a read or write hit is said to have occurred, and there will occur the read or write hit if the requested block exists in the memory. So in a read operation, the main memory is not involved here. And for a write operation, the system can proceed in two ways. In the first technique called as the write through protocol, the cache location and the main memory location are updated simultaneously. And the second technique is to update only the cache location and to make it updated with an associated flag bit, which is oftenly known as a dirty or modified bit, that is dirty bit or modified bit. Here the main memory location of the word is updated later when the block containing or the block which is containing that word is marked word is to be removed from the cache to make a room for a new block. So this technique is known as the write back technique or the copy back protocol. Here the write through protocol is a simpler protocol, but it will result in the unnecessary write operation in the main memory when a given cache word is updated several times during its cache residency. So you can note that the write back protocol may also result in the unnecessary write operations, because when a cache block is written back to the memory, so all the words of the block that are written back, even if only a single word has been changed while the block was in the cache memory. Next is cache misses. So when the address word in the read operation is not in the cache, then a read miss occurs, so that the block of words that contains the requested word is copied from the main memory into the cache memory. And after the entire block is loaded into the cache memory, then the particular word which is requested is forwarded to the processor. Alternatively, this word may be sent to the processor as soon as it is read from the main memory. The latter approach is which is known as load true or the early restart, which will reduces the processor waiting period somewhat, but at the expense of a more complex circuit. During a write operation, if the address word is not in the cache, then a write miss occurs. Then if the write through protocol is used, the information which is written directly into the main memory. It means that during a write operation, if the address word is not in the cache, then a write miss occurs. So whenever the write miss occurs, then if the write through protocol is used, then the information which is written directly into the main memory. So in this case of the write back protocol, the block containing the address word is first brought into the cache, then the desired word in the cache is overwritten with the new information. So this is in detail about the cache memory, which is an important and the most effective memory component. And in the next class that I am going to discuss the mapping functions, that is the memory mapping functions, which is also an important concept. Thank you.